Okay, a very good evening to all the learners. I hope all of you are doing well. Let me just check if I'm live. Give me a minute. This is going to be the first session for term 1 physics, right? For class 9. And indeed, it's going to be a very informative session. I guess, yes, I'm live. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes. So, I welcome you all in this particular session, the very first session for class 9, term 1. First of all, congratulations to all the students who have moved into class 9 and all the very best for the next 2 years, which are going to be the most important years of your life. And of all the subjects that you're going to study in class 9, the most interesting is going to be physics, right? The problem only is, in case you are able to relate it with the physical world, you love the subject, or else it is going to bother you, a lot of times in these 2 years, right? So in order to ease your pressure, here we are at Unacademy. We have come up with the YT series with the YouTube sessions for term 1 physics for class 9th ICSE students, right? So before I begin the session, let me first introduce myself. My name is Kalyan K Awasthi. I'm a plus verified educator at Unacademy. I have been teaching physics since 2008 and I hold a master's degree in electronics. I have done my BTech and MTech in electronics and communication engineering with my area of specialization as digital communication, right? So you can really make use of the experience that I have. I mean, it's more than 12 years now that I've been teaching physics. I have seen a number of batches. Thousands of students have passed, but the problem still remains the same. Sir, physics samajh mein nahi aati. Okay, so here I am to help you out with this particular problem. Okay, so in case you have just entered class 9th and this is the first time you're watching a session, a YT session for term 1 ICSE physics, I would request all of you to join these two Telegram groups. This is the Telegram group of physics. I manage this group. Here you'll be getting the details of all my upcoming sessions, and this happens to be the generalized Telegram group for ICSE and ISC board students, right? So I would request all of you to join these two groups so that you are updated with all the necessary informations regarding the upcoming sessions, regarding the teachers that are going to take the sessions and everything, right? So just join the group. And let me first introduce you with a very exciting feature that we have at Unacademy. At Unacademy, we offer free special classes, right? Free special classes. And what are these special classes? In these special classes, all the learners get to interact with the educator in real time. Now, let me tell you what real time is. यार देखो, अभी YT session में, the session that we are having, in case you have any doubt, you'll send me through a chat box, right? आप चैट बॉक्स के थ्रू मेरे को डाउट भेजोगे, बट स्टिल देयर इज अ लैग ऑफ से 2-3 सेकेंड्स. ऐसा होता है, इट डज हैपन. But in the special classes, which are absolutely free, you don't have to suffer any such lag. This is the first feature that we have. The second and the most important one, you have a doubt tab. Now guys, what is a doubt tab? Through a doubt tab, you can ask me a question during a live session. Okay, session live चल रहा है, मैं कुछ पढ़ा रहा हूँ, आपके दिमाग में कोई भी क्वेश्चन है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं वर्क पावर एनर्जी पढ़ा रहा हूँ या न्यूटन्स लॉ पढ़ा रहा हूँ, आपको कोई न्यूमेरिकल नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, आपने पिक खींचा, यू हैव जस्ट अटैच द फाइल एंड सेंड मी. Real time live in the class, I'll see your question, I'll answer it then and there. So this is a very good feature for special classes that we have at Unacademy. And if you want to watch any of my special classes, I have already had few special classes, you can use my code. Just make a note of it. It's Kalyan Live. This is my code. Just download the Unacademy app, go on a particular session that you wish to watch. The session will definitely be locked. In order to unlock it, you can use this code and you can watch the session for free, right? Thirdly, what we do, we have polls in special classes. Now, what are polls? Polls are the important questions in physics related to the chapter that we do in a particular class. किसी भी session में we do polls, and these polls help you have a better understanding of the topic. और साथ ही साथ in every session we have got a poll leaderboard as well. And what is this poll leaderboard? किसी भी particular session में of all the students that have attended this session, who were the top 3? In fact, the rating is till number 10. We tell you top 10 students for that particular session. Okay, so this is a good feature that will help you have a check on your performance. So if you are, if you have liked what I've told you about the special class, this is the next class that I'm having. On 28th, I'm having my special class, which is the introduction to Archimedes principle. Okay, so you can attend this class, you can join this class, and obviously you'll definitely have a wonderful session. I can guarantee you that, right? Secondly, after special classes, we have got Unacademy Plus classes. Now, these Unacademy Plus classes have few very exciting features, of which the very first one is you get to learn live, right? आपको live पढ़ने का मौका मिलता है at your comfort. Now, this is the best part. I mean, you don't have to move anywhere. At your house, you can attend these classes live. Okay, this is the best part. And the other important feature is, if you are a Plus subscriber, you can watch any lecture any number of time. Okay, any number of time. There is no restriction on the number of times you're watching a lecture. Normally in other sessions they get locked, but for Plus subscribers they never locked, right? And the best part is you're taught from the top educators of the country. I mean, the educators at Unacademy are all the educators are very good, very qualified, and very experienced. So you get to learn from them, right? And the best part is every fourth session, her fourth class is a doubt clearing class. Okay, you get to clear all your doubts in these particular sessions. So this is again a very good thing. There is exhaustive coverage of syllabus. You get to cover the syllabus in an exhaustive manner, and these are the other features that a Plus class offers. Now, if you want to take the subscription for the Plus class, these are the pricings. Okay, this is the pricing deck, and you can clearly see as you move on for a higher duration subscription, you get to save more. Okay, the higher you go for a subscription, the more you save. This is the best part. And on top of that, if you're using my code Kalyan Live, okay, if you're using my code Kalyan Live, you will be getting 10% discount. Now that is again an added advantage. On top of the discounts that you are having, you get an additional discount of 10%. This definitely adds value, right? Chalo, now let's start the session. The session that we're going to conduct today is on measurements and experimentations. Now, measurements, let's start with the layman definition of measurement. अगर मैं आपसे साधारण सी भाषा में बोलूं what is measurement, तो conventionally we have a habit of measuring things with our own standards, right? We have seen that ad, the 5-star ad, पतलू ने एक बलांग छोटी कर दो, right? So he has his own standard of measurement, balang, right? And locally we have developed our own standards. We have seen, I mean, you might have seen vendors using stones. आपने देखा होगा सब्जी वाले and all that vendors who sell their commodities, they often, along with the weights that they have, जो वो 2 किलो 5 किलो 1 किलो के जो बाट वो यूज करते हैं, साथ ही साथ कभी कभी they have stones as well, right? मान लीजिए, I mean, there is a quantity which is between say 7500 grams and 1 kg. So they have these small stones. I mean, you might have observed it, right? देखो, अच्छी फिजिक्स पढ़ने के लिए आपको ऑब्जर्व करना पड़ेगा. You have to observe things around you. जब तक आप अपने आसपास की चीजों को ऑब्जर्व नहीं करोगे, you'll never develop a habit of learning something new. And everything around us that we see is somewhere or the other related to physics. ठीक है ना? तो मेजरमेंट का मतलब क्या हुआ? देखो, जब भी हम फिजिक्स पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं या हमें कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, तो व्हाट वी do? Actually, we have to measure. Every experiment involves measurement, right? Now, अगर मेरे को किसी क्वांटिटी को मेजर करना है, ऑब्वियसली आई नीड सम स्टैंडर्ड, राइट? अगर आपको अपना वेट मेजर करना है तो यू नीड अ स्टैंडर्ड. फॉर एग्जांपल योर वेट इज 51 kg. तो दुनिया में कभी किसी ने बताया होगा ना भाई कि दिस इज 1 kg एंड यू आर 51 टाइम्स ऑफ दिस 1 kg. या आप ऐसे कर सकते हो, इन योर बॉडी this 1 kg is contained 51 times. That is why your weight is 51 kgs. The same thing goes with length, mass, time, temperature and everything. ठीक है ना? तो मेजरमेंट करने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड्स होने चाहिए. विदाउट स्टैंडर्ड्स यू कैन नॉट मेजर एनीथिंग. कन्वेंशनली पहले हम क्या करते थे, हम अपने लोकल स्टैंडर्ड्स बना लेते थे. यू हैव सीन, आई मीन, I'm not sure how many of you play cricket. Like from today, IPL is starting. So I hope you might have seen what these players. I mean, we locally what we do, we measure the crease through a bat. I mean, we take a bat, we mark a length, we again measure it, we mark a length, we stretch a straight line, and then we decide this is what is going to be my crease. ऐसा हम करते हैं क्रिकेट में. Now this is not a standard measurement. What we have done is we have taken our bats and we have assumed it that okay, this is how I'm going to decide my crease, right? ऐसा सभी लोग करते हैं. Yes, it does happen. And like this we have created small standards. Like, I mean, we measure it like this, right? Ballista, I mean, we call it in our local language, we call it ballista. I mean, it's 4 ballista, it's 3 ballista and everything. I mean, in local language we call it different. Many of us measure it through our arm length. I mean, we measure it through our arm length. I mean, we you might have seen the cloth vendors. They at times they measure the length of the cloth through their arm. I mean, if they're not having a meter scale, they do it. It happens in local market, it does happen. Okay, so whatever you are doing, you are measuring an instrument or you are measuring a physical quantity by comparing it with a known standard. Yes, right? This is what you are doing. You are measuring a particular physical quantity by comparing it with a known standard, a known quantity, and then you are finding out that how many times a particular quantity is there, right? This is how it goes. Fine, this is how the measurement starts, right? Now, the standard value that we use is called a unit, okay? And unit of any physical quantity is constant. I mean, if I'm saying what is the unit of length, there are certain standards according to which we have fixed the unit of length, like say meter. I mean, although there are other units as well, but for instance, let us start with meters, okay? Fine. So if I am asking you what is measurement, so for measurement, the basic definition is measurement is the process of comparison of a given quantity, rather a given physical quantity, with a known standard quantity. Okay, so you have got a known standard quantity. Hi beta, you have got a known standard quantity. Okay, and then you have got a physical quantity. And what you're going to do is you're going to compare this known standard quantity with the physical quantity that you have to measure, and you have to compare it, and then you have to find the value, right? This is how we started doing measurements, right? Now, every measuring or every measurement tactically deals with 2 parameters. There are 2 parameters which are decisive in measurement of any physical quantity. The very first question is, sir, what are these 2 parameters? So these 2 parameters are unit and the numerical value. Okay, unit and the numerical value. See, numerical value I've already told you. It tells you that how many times a selected unit is contained in a given quantity, right? And what is unit? Unit is the quantity of a constant magnitude. It is a, let me write it, it is a quantity of constant magnitude which is used to measure the magnitude of other quantities of same nature. Okay, this is how we start with the basic definition of unit. Okay, unit is the quantity of it is a quantity of constant magnitude which is used to measure the magnitude of other quantities, and then you have got numerical value. So together the numerical value and the unit, they decide the physical quantity. So we have to be very particular with the physical quantity, right? For example, if I'm saying that a man weighs 10 kg, now what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? It means that the unit of measurement is kg, and this unit is contained ten times in the weight or mass, whatever you are considering, right? ठीक है ना? If I am saying that the weight is 10 kg, it means that the unit of measurement is kg, and this unit is contained 10 times in the weight. This is how we are going to go about it. Now, a very obvious question comes, sir, how are we going to select the unit? What is the choice of the unit? Now, there are certain characteristics or certain attributes for selecting a particular unit. Okay, the very first is the unit should be of convenient size. Now, what does it mean? See, for example, आपको एक हाथी का वेट बताना है और आप बोल रहे हो सर मैं तो मिलीग्राम्स में बताऊंगा, तो is it a convenient size? I mean, the unit that we are using for measuring a particular quantity, they have to be of convenient size. आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हो कि आप बोलो कि सर मैं लखनऊ से कोलकाता तक का डिस्टेंस mm में बताऊंगा, मिलीमीटर्स में. So is this a smart choice for unit? No, mm is not a smart choice. Rather, kilometers is a smart choice, right? Kilograms is a better choice, or quintals is a better choice for measuring the weight of an elephant. Okay, so you have to select the unit having a convenient size. The unit cannot be selected in an absurd manner, right? Secondly, the unit should be well defined, right? Well defined means there shouldn't be any ambiguity. It should be well defined and the standard should be acceptable. अब ऐसा लोकल यूनिट नहीं यूज कर सकते जो किसी को पता ही ना हो. आप मेरे को बोलो कि वो शर्मा जी के लड़के से 150 गुना ज्यादा है हाथी. नाउ दिस इज नॉट अ प्रॉपर मेजरमेंट. ओके, इट इज एम्बिगिटी. अभी शर्मा जी का लड़का कितना भारी है ये नहीं मालूम ना, तो हाउ कैन यू से कि हाथी शर्मा जी के लड़के से 150 गुना ज्यादा है? नो, दिस इज नॉट अ प्रॉपर मेजरमेंट, राइट? Third, the unit should be reproducible. Now, what does it mean? It means that if required, you can convert the units readily. आप कोई ऐसा यूनिट ना यूज कर लो जिसका कन्वर्जन इज नॉट पॉसिबल, या इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, इट्स नॉट फीजिबल. सो whenever required, the unit can be reproduced and converted when required. ठीक है ना? तो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है किसी भी यूनिट का, राइट? एंड द लास्ट वन इज ऑब्वियसली इट शुड बी कांस्टेंट. ऐसा नहीं हो कि 1 kg मेरे लिए कुछ और है, किसी और के लिए कुछ और है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इफ आई एम यूजिंग 1 kg, देन 1 kg शुड बी प्रॉपरली डिफाइंड. ऐसा ना हो कि 1 kg की डेफिनेशन सबके लिए अलग अलग है. सो वी हैव टू कीप दिस इन माइंड एज वेल. सो ये कुछ कॉमन चीजें हैं that have to be kept in mind while we are dealing with the choices of a particular unit. I hope the logic is pretty much clear. I have tried to explain it. Hi Samriddhi, how are you beta? Good evening, welcome to the session. कैसे हो आप? Samriddhi, we have started term 1. You were asking me when will we start. So here we are with term 1. Yes. Any doubts, any questions you have so far, you feel free to ask it. I mean, I'll be more than happy to help you. And we have started the term 1 for both 9th and 10th at the on the special classes as well. So आप special classes भी attend कर सकते हो from 6th of April on, plus we are coming from 6th of April. For 9, the plus classes are starting from 6th of April. The course will be live by Monday. Okay. We have already scheduled it. It will be live by Monday. Monday से आपको दिखलेगा. Monday या Tuesday से you will see it on the portal. Okay. It's starting from 6th of April, both for class 9th and class 10th term 1. So you can inform all your friends who are waiting for this. Right? Samriddhi. Chalo. Let's talk about the types of unit. Dekho, we have had an idea of what unit is, what measurement is. The next step is we have to understand what types of units, yeah, you can say what kind of units we have to study. So basically we have to deal with two kinds of units. The very first is a fundamental unit. Okay. Now what does a fundamental unit mean? A fundamental unit is a unit, or a fundamental quantity is a quantity which does not depend on any other quantity. Okay. The value or the definition of the quantity is independent of any other quantity. These quantities, they never change. They are fixed. Okay. And I mean, you do not require any other quantity or unit to define a fundamental quantity or unit. They are themselves a standard. वो खुद ही standard होते हैं, right? Technically speaking, we have got 7 fundamental quantities. Let me tell you, we have got 7 fundamental quantities. बहुत important है to remember these quantities. Okay, these are length, mass, time, temperature, luminous intensity, and amount of substance. Okay, these are 7 fundamental quantities. We have got 2 supplementary quantities as well, and they are angle and solid angle. Okay, these are 2 supplementary quantities. 7 fundamental quantities हैं, and in addition to 7 fundamental quantities, we have got 2 supplementary quantities as well. Let us talk about the units. For length, we have got meter. For mass, we have got kg. For time, we have got seconds. For temperature, we have got Kelvin. For luminous intensity, we have got candela. For amount of substance, we have got mole. For angle, we have got radians. And for solid angles, we have got steradian. Okay, so these are 7 fundamental quantities, and these are 2 supplementary quantities, right? So in order to start the measurement and everything, we need these 7 fundamental quantities. And apart from these 7 fundamental quantities, we need these 2 supplementary quantities as well. So I hope the logic is pretty much clear to all of you. Yes? Okay. Siddharth has a question. What is luminous intensity? I'll be telling you about everything. Okay. Luminous intensity tells you the, the light energy or the luminous energy, how is it distributed in a space. This is what tells you. This is how luminous intensity is defined. Amount of substance, you might have studied it in chemistry, or you might not have studied it. You will be studying it very soon. Only these, in fact, these 3 are unknowns. I mean, you might have studied, you might have encountered them for the very first time. Luminous intensity, amount of substance, and solid angle. Okay, these three are new, I guess, and you have heard about all the three others, all the um, four others, right? चलो, नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज, देखो सबसे पहले तो जान लो ये फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज की जरूरत क्यों पड़ी. देखो, अगर मेरे को फिजिक्स पढ़नी है तो आई नीड टू मेजर थिंग्स, राइट? एंड इफ आई नीड टू मेजर थिंग्स, फॉर दैट आई नीड स्टैंडर्ड्स, एंड इन केस आई हैव स्टैंडर्ड्स तो आई हैव टू डिफाइन दोज स्टैंडर्ड्स. मैं ये समझूं तो कि मेरे पास स्टैंडर्ड्स कौन कौन से हैं. जब तक मैं ये स्टैंडर्ड समझूंगा नहीं, हाउ विल आई डिकोड देम? ओके, हाउ विल आई डिकोड थिंग्स, हाउ विल आई स्टार्ट मेजरिंग थिंग्स? तो ये 7 वो फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज हैं जिनसे मैं सभी क्वांटिटीज मेजर कर सकता हूं. बाय यूजिंग दीज 7 फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज आई कैन मेजर ऑल दी अदर क्वांटिटीज, राइट? ऑल दी अदर क्वांटिटीज. तो बाकी जितनी भी क्वांटिटीज हैं या बाकी जितनी भी यूनिट्स हैं, आई विल बी कॉलिंग देम डिराइव्ड यूनिट्स, राइट? फंडामेंटल यूनिट्स को छोड़ के जितनी भी यूनिट्स हैं, all the units are called derived units. I'll be telling you in detail about each of them in this particular session only. Okay, let me see how many of you have joined. Okay, so in case you have any doubt in between, feel free to ask. This is a new thing. I mean, we have just started, so it will take some time to build up, but in case you have any problem, feel free to ask anytime. Okay, you can just drop in a comment in the chat box if you want, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Fine, chalo. Now, before I move on to the derived units, first of all, let's see what are the different systems in which we can measure quantities, right? So we have got 3 very popular systems. The very first is CGS. See, the nomenclature, this nomenclature, the entire nomenclature is done on the basis of length, mass, and time. Okay, this is the standard: length, mass, and time. Based on these standards, we have to decide which particular system we are using. Okay, be very particular with this. It's a very, very important concept. What is CGS then? The very first question, what is CGS? C is for centimeter, G is for grams, and S for seconds. Okay, C is for centimeters, G is for grams, and S is for seconds. This is the first thing that we have to keep in mind. In FPS, what is F? Foot, pounds, second. Okay, foot, pound, second. CGS is basically the French system. Okay, this is basically the French system for measuring units. Then we have got FPS. I mean, FPS is we are quite familiar to it. Why? Because this is foot, pound, and second. This was used by Britishers. Okay, this is a British system. And then we have got MKS system. This is called metric system. Okay, MKS system is called metric system, and it has meter, kilogram, and second. Okay, MKS is meter, kilogram, second. FPS is foot, pound, second, and CGS is centimeter, gram, second. So all these three units basically deal with length, mass, and time, right? So I hope the logic is pretty clear to all of you. Now, apart from in these 3 systems, we have got one more system. Okay, we normally, preferably, we don't use these systems nowadays. Nowadays we use SI system of measurement. Now, what is SI? This is system of international units. Okay, I mean, I'm telling you in English. Technically, the word is something else, but you can call it the system of international units. Now, there was a conference of weights and measures, and it was held, and they have decided to go on with some standard units that can be effectively used across the world. And whatever we have learned here, this goes with the SI standard. Okay, the SI standard has decided these particular quantities. Now, the second important thing with the measurement of these quantities is to decide the standards. I mean, मैंने आपको बोल दिया कि लेंथ इज मीटर, ठीक है ना, बट 1 मीटर क्या है ये आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? ओके भाई, इट इज मीटर, देन 1 मीटर क्या है ये आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? ठीक है ना? For that, what you have to do is you have to understand the excuse me, the definition of each and every standard, and these definitions have to be learned word by word. Okay, these definitions have to be learned word by word. You cannot kind of you know, change these definitions. Why? Because they are set standards. Okay, they are set standards. अगर मैंने आपको बोल दिया this is 1 meter, so this is 1 meter. I mean, you cannot say नहीं sir ये 1 meter नहीं है. These standards have been set. Okay, चलो, now let's talk about every standard separately. So we'll be starting with the unit of length. Okay, the most popular, the SI unit of length is, the SI unit of length is METRE. It's meter. Okay, the SI unit of length is meter. I mean, there were a lot of standards regarding meter. I mean, at times different standards were set, but finally in 1983 there was a final standard according to which meter was defined. And let me tell you what that standard was. According to that standard, 1 meter, let me write it, 1 meter is the distance traveled by the light in 1/299,792,458 of a second in air or vacuum. अब यार ये जो डेफिनेशन है ये आपको एज इट इज याद करनी है, इसमें आप कुछ चेंज नहीं कर सकते. यू कैनॉट हैव योर ओन डेफिनेशन फॉर meter. Okay, you cannot have your own definition for meter. The definition for meter will be fixed and it will remain same. तो ऐसे ही I mean, meter, kg, second, everything, सबकी अपनी एक standard definition. It is there in your books, it is there everywhere, and this part you have to learn it. Okay, I mean, ऐसा नहीं है इसमें, there is no technicality कि मैं आपको ये नहीं समझा सकता कि यार ये 1/299 कैसे आया. नहीं, ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं. ओके, एंड दीज रिजल्ट्स आर an outcome of these experimental observations and they cannot be changed, so you have to learn them as they are. Fine, I hope the logic is pretty much clear to everyone. Yes, I hope yes. Chalo, okay, let's talk about the other units. The other units are centimeter, okay, millimeter, I'm just telling you the popular ones, okay, that we'll be using in physics quite often. Microns and nanometer. Okay, centimeter, I mean, right, let me tell you, this is the chart: kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. This is how you have to learn it: kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Okay, so if I'm talking about centimeter, kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, put 1 in meter and 2 zeros. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. This is how you have to learn it. वैसे तो I hope all of you might be knowing this, but in case कोई भूल गया है तो just in that case, अगर मेरे को मिलीमीटर लिखना है तो 1 meter will be 1, 1, 2, 3 millimeters. Okay, अगर मेरे को माइक्रोन लिखना है तो या नैनोमीटर लिखना है, सो वी हैव गॉट डिफरेंट मेजरमेंट्स, राइट. इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए किसी को भी. नैनोमीटर इज बेसिकली 10 to the power minus 9. Okay, the nanometer is of the order of 10 to the power minus 9. Actually this is not micron, this is micrometer. Okay, do it micrometer, right? So these are few standards that we are using for the measurement of length, right? Acha, these are very basic measurement quantities. I mean, if in case we have to measure a very large distance, we normally in metric system we normally move up to kilometer. Okay, kilometers tak hum normal, behavioral we use these types of units. But if the distance is very large, or if I am, if I want to have a larger units or the bigger units, let me quantify them as the bigger units of length. The bigger units of length are basically AU. This is the very first bigger unit of length that we have, and it's called astronomical unit. Okay beta, जो पहली बड़ी यूनिट है that is astronomical unit, and 1 AU is equal to 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meters. Okay, 1 AU is 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meters. The other unit is light year. We call it LY. Okay, now in light years what we do, we measure the planetary distance. Okay, let me define it. Light year, ये बेटा सब याद रखने स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, you cannot skip the standard definitions. Okay, light year is the distance traveled by light in vacuum in 1 year. The total distance that the light travels in vacuum in 1 year is called 1 light year. So अगर मेरे को इसका वैल्यू निकालना है तो 1 light year का कैसे वैल्यू निकालोगे? The speed of the light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, the distance is equal to speed into time. Very basic formula. Distance is equal to speed into time. Now the speed of light is constant, it will never change, and we have to take time into year. So 1 year has 365 days, 1 day has 24 hours, right? 1 hour has 60 minutes and 1 minute has 60 seconds, right? I have to convert it into seconds. जब आप इसको पूरा सॉल्व कर देते हो तो आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू द फाइनल वैल्यू. इट कम्स 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 किलोमीटर्स. ये वैल्यू आती है बेटा 1 लाइट ईयर की. इट्स 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 किलोमीटर. और कैसे आ रही है भाई? डिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू स्पीड इनटू टाइम, राइट? स्पीड मेरे को लाइट की मालूम है, इट्स 3 into 10 to the power 8. टाइम मेरे को निकालना है डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय द लाइट इन वैक्यूम इन 1 ईयर, मेरे को 1 साल में डिस्टेंस निकालना है। तो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज आई हैव टेकन द टाइम फॉर 1 ईयर, मैंने 1 ईयर को सेकंड में कन्वर्ट कर लिया है। ठीक है ना, लॉजिक इज आई गेस क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। चलो नेक्स्ट यूनिट देखते हैं। द नेक्स्ट यूनिट इज parsec, it's parsec, we call it parsec. The next important unit is parsec. And how do we measure it? It is the distance from where the semi-major axis of the orbit of Earth subtends an angle of 1 second. Okay, I'm directly telling you the value. 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light years. Okay, it's a very large unit, I mean even greater than the light year. I hope you can see it, I mean very large unit. So this is how you have to learn these units. Okay, chalo, now let's talk about few smaller units. I mean how many of you are there in this session? Okay, in case you have any doubt, feel free to ask, don't be hesitant. Let's talk about the smaller units, few smaller units. The very first is angstrom. Okay, it's a very small unit and a very popular one. Okay, we use it very readily. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meters. देखो भाई, आपको ये सभी कन्वर्जन्स याद रखने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है ना। The second smaller unit is Fermi. Okay, 1 Fermi is equal to 10 to the power minus 15 meters. Okay, this again you have to remember. Fine. So we have studied 3 very large units for the measurement of length. The very first was astronomical unit. 1 AU was 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meters. दूसरा जो हमने बहुत बड़ा यूनिट पढ़ा है लेंथ का, that is light years, and 1 light year was 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometers. And light year से भी बड़ा यूनिट जो हमने पढ़ा है, that is parseconds, right? It's parseconds. And what is that unit? 1 parsecond is equal to 3.26 light years. Okay, it's a very large unit. And then we have studied 2 very small units. No, SI system and MK system are not same. Initially there were 3 systems, Siddharth: CGS, FPS and SI. But later on, for having a uniformity all around the globe, an SI system was formed. What they did, the SI system defined fundamental units and fundamental quantities. What actually happens, जैसे अगर आपको force लिखना है तो force in SI system you say Newton, but technically what is force? Force is kg into meter per second square, right? So if you are asked to write force in MKs, you will be writing kg into meter per second square. If you are asked to write it in SI, you will be saying Newton. Values उसमें same ही हैं, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि हम SI में kg मीटर पर सेकेंड नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, हम उसमें भी वही यूज कर रहे हैं. इट्स जस्ट दैट कि ऐसा ना हो कि मैं आपसे पूछूं व्हाट इज द वेट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर मोबाइल और आप बोलो कि सर द वेट इज 10 पाउंड्स. मैं बोलूं कि नहीं यार वेट इज 20 kg, और कोई और बोले नहीं यार I mean 20 kg तो नहीं लग रहा है, मेरे को तो 2000 ग्राम्स लग रहा है. तो इंस्टेड ये सारा कंफ्यूजन दूर करने के लिए एक स्टैंडर्ड बोल दिया गया, बोला कि भैया जब भी वेट पूछेंगे केजी में ही बताओगे, तो ये केजी मेरा एसआई में आ गया। बात समझ रहे हो, कुछ अलग चीज नहीं है, सिर्फ एक यूनिफॉर्मिटी लाने के लिए एसआई सिस्टम बनाया गया। ठीक है सिद्धार्थ, इज इट क्लियर? अच्छा, फर्मी के अलावा आपके पास कुछ और भी इससे भी छोटी छोटी यूनिट्स हैं, जैसे आपके पास म्यू है, माइक्रो। ओके, तो 10⁻⁻6, ठीक है ना। mm आप ऑलरेडी मैंने आपको पहले ही बता दिया, 1 mm इज 10⁻3। माइक्रो मैंने आपको बता दिया सेंटीमीटर, फर्मी एंड एंगस्ट्रॉम। So now all the smaller units are clear, right? For both all the smaller and the larger units are clear for length. Now let's move on to the measurement of mass. ये तो हुई length की बात। How can we measure mass? तो अगर आप SI यूनिट का बात करो तो the SI unit of the mass is again kilograms. Okay, it's kilograms or kg, ठीक है ना। नाउ अगेन जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि मीटर का स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन है, यू कैन नॉट चेंज दैट डेफिनेशन, ऐसे ही किलोग्राम का भी एक स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन है। एंड व्हाट इज दैट डेफिनेशन? 1 kg is defined, you have to learn this word by word, I mean the standard definitions, as the mass of a cylindrical piece of platinum iridium alloy kept at International Bureau of Weights and Measures at now this definition is a standard and you cannot play with its words. Okay, you cannot change even a single word. The same was the case with the length as well. Okay, whenever we are dealing with the standard units, you cannot change even a single word. Fine, any doubt? Okay Siddharth, do you have a question? Okay, the question is, a spring balance is used to measure mass or weight. It measures weight, beta. Okay, spring balance measures weight, right? It's a very popular question. I mean, there is always a confusion regarding the measurement of weight or mass, right? Actually what happens, you know, anything that is working against the gravity, whatever is working against the gravity, it has to measure the weight, and the spring balance is working against the gravity. Okay, so it measures weight. Fine, I hope you've got the answer. Yes, I guess this is what your question was, Siddharth. I'm sorry I couldn't see it, I was busy writing it. Clear hai na? By mg, as soon as the g is encountered, you have to measure, it will definitely be measuring weight, it cannot measure mass, right? Chal, is it clear? So this is the definition. Now again there are certain smaller and the bigger units, like we have got grams, you have got milligrams. These are very small units, right? 1 gram is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg, right? Right? Fine. So this is how we, I mean, I guess मैंने उल्टा लिख दिया. Okay, 1 gram is equal to 1 upon 1000 kgs, and this will be 10 to the power minus 3 kg, right? This is how we'll be measuring. Or we can say 1 kg, this is 1 kg is 1000 grams. Okay, the same thing goes with milligrams as well. 1 milligram is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 grams, and this will be equal to 10 to the power minus 6 kgs, right? So this is how the milligram kg thing will be going, right? And then you have got larger units as well, I mean the bigger units. And what are these? You have got quintal. I mean, I have just taken an example for the weight of an elephant. Quintal is a very large unit for measuring mass. And then we have got metric tons. Metric tons, this is also a very large unit for measuring mass. 1 quintal is equal to 100 kg, and 1 metric ton is equal to 10 quintals. So these are few very basic units that we have to remember. And apart from this unit, we have got some non-metric units as well, like it's AMU. We call it atomic mass unit. We call it atomic mass unit. It's very important in radioactivity. We'll be using this unit in radioactivity. वहाँ पर आप बहुत ज़्यादा इसको use करोगे. And 1 AMU is equal to 1 upon 12th mass of 1 C12 atom. Okay, 1 AMU is 1 by 12th mass of 1 C12 atom. अगर आप इसको convert करना चाहो तो this is 1 upon 12. And how will you calculate the mass of 1 C12 atom? देखो कार्बन का एटॉमिक नंबर होता है 12, तो 12 ग्राम में you will have Avogadro number of particles, which is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. So 1 gram में you will be having, okay, so for 1 you will be having 12 upon 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. इसको आपको मल्टीप्लाई करना है फ्रॉम 12, डिवाइड करना है 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. When you will be solving it, you will get 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. This is how you can find the value of AMU, right? Clear? तो अगर आप स्मॉलर यूनिट्स की बात करो तो हमने 3 स्मॉलर यूनिट्स देखी हैं. एक तो आपकी AMU बहुत छोटी हो गई, दिस इज अ वेरी स्मॉल यूनिट. दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी स्मॉल यूनिट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस AMU आपने ग्राम्स भी देखा है और आपने मिलीग्राम्स भी देखा है. सो दीज आर 2 smaller units that we normally use. Okay, I hope the logic is pretty much clear. Chalo, I guess let me now introduce you with the 2 batches that we are having. One is the champions batch. Okay, the champions batch, the batch has already started. It started on 2nd of March, and these are the faculty members who are taking sessions in this particular batch. Hina ma'am is taking maths, I am taking physics, Manisha ma'am is taking chemistry, and Vani ma'am is taking biology. Okay, बैच ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट हो चुका है. एंड अगर आप क्लास 9th का सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हो तो यू विल बी गेटिंग द सब्सक्रिप्शन ऑफ क्लास 10th to 12th फ्री. ओके, what you have to do is you have to use my code, which is Kalyan Live. This is my code. If you are using this code, you will be getting, as of now, आपको 10% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा. So this is a batch which is already going on. So if you wish, you can subscribe in this particular batch and you can use my code to avail this benefit. Then there is one more batch for class 10, that is a champions batch, and that batch has started on 16th of March. The this champions for class 9th and this champions for class 10th. These are English batches. Okay, the mode of delivery here is English. The batch starts from 16th of March. Okay, and it has already started and we are halfway through. No issues on that. You can anytime be a part of this batch. Once you are taking the subscription, you'll get the recorded versions as well. You can watch the recordings of the plus classes which are otherwise not available for the non-plus subscribers. And again, Ina ma'am is taking maths in this batch. I'll be taking physics, Manisha ma'am chemistry, and Vani ma'am biology. Okay, so these are the faculty members who are taking the respective subjects in the batch. And a very important announcement for all the Unacademy, ICSE and ISC learners. Unacademy has come up with the Emerge mock test series for all the students who are appearing in their final exams. Okay, it's a very good opportunity for all the students. आप इस particular test series में you can be a part of it. If you are a ICSE or ISC class 10th and 12th learner, you can be a part of it. You can enroll in this test series absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to use this code Kalyan Live. If you are using this code, you can enroll it for free and you can anyway appear in the test. The test series is fixed from Saturday to Tuesday. I mean Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. These are the 4 dates on which the tests take place. Biology test on Saturday, maths test on Sunday, Monday we have got physics test, and Tuesday we have chemistry test. Okay, so if you are a class 10th or 12th learner and you want to have a check on your performance, you can rather enroll in it. And there is one more very exciting offer for all the learners. अगर आपको किसी भी वीडियो में कोई भी derogatory या inappropriate content लगता है and you are the first one to report this bugs bounty offer, through this offer what you can do is, if you are claiming any inappropriate content, you can claim for your prize as well. Okay, किसी भी session में. Okay, any inappropriate, any derogatory remark, any content which you find is not suitable for the students, I hope you understand. So in this case, feel free to make use of this bugs bounty. Okay, feel free. Okay, सिद्धार्थ is asking least count क्या होता है. सिद्धार्थ, least count वो वैल्यू है, वो सबसे छोटी वैल्यू है जो एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट मेजर कर सकता है. ठीक है ना. अगर आप एक स्केल उठाओ, जस्ट सी अ रूलर, जो आप स्केल देखते हो तो उसमें वो जो सबसे छोटा खाना है, इफ यू हैव अ स्केल जस्ट चेक इट आउट, वो जो सबसे छोटा खाना है दैट कैन बी मेजर्ड, दैट इज द लीस्ट काउंट ऑफ अ स्केल. हर इंस्ट्रूमेंट का लीस्ट काउंट अलग अलग होता है. अगर आप मीटर स्केल की बात कर रहे हो तो सिंस मैं मीटर बोल रहा हूं तो मे बी यू कैन कंसिडर मीटर एज द लीस्ट काउंट. ठीक है ना. तो हर इंस्ट्रूमेंट का बेटा अपना अपना अलग अलग लीस्ट काउंट होता है. लीस्ट काउंट इज दैट वैल्यू, दैट मिनिमम वैल्यू दैट एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट कैन मेजर. अभी जब हम स्क्रू गॉज और वर्नियर कैलिपर पढ़ेंगे इन द प्लस क्लासेस और मे बी इन सब्सिक्वेंट सेशंस, तो आपको पता चलेगा व्हाट अ लीस्ट काउंट इज. ओके सिद्धार्थ, आई होप आपको समझ में आ रहा है बेटा व्हाट अ लीस्ट काउंट इज. ठीक है ना. हाँ, 1 mm मेजर कर सकता है तो स्केल का लीस्ट काउंट 1 mm हो गया. ठीक है. जितना भी जो भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो सबसे छोटा वैल्यू मेजर कर सकता है वही उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट का लीस्ट काउंट होता है. ठीक है सिद्धार्थ. जो भी वैल्यू हो वो, आप एक बैलेंस ले लो, वेइंग बैलेंस. अब सबसे छोटा वेट अगर आप उसमें 10 ग्राम मेजर कर सकते हो, 10 ग्राम से छोटा नहीं मेजर कर सकते, तो उस वेइंग बैलेंस का लीस्ट काउंट 10 ग्राम हो जाएगा. ठीक है. आई होप द लॉजिक इज क्लियर. आपके तीनों क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गए हैं, एसआई एंड एमकेएस, स्प्रिंग बैलेंस एंड लीस्ट काउंट. और आप पहले आपने कुछ पूछा नहीं है. और कोई डाउट हो फील फ्री टू आस्क इट. प्लीज लाइक द लेक्चर, ऑल ऑफ यू हु आर वाचिंग इट, एंड please recommend the lecture to your friends as well. In case you're finding the content worthy enough, make sure that it reaches to the appropriate audience. And yes, if you've not subscribed the channel, most importantly, so subscribe it, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Right, this is what the concluding part of the session has to say. Yeah, Siddharth, we'll have a separate session on error, right? zero error, negative error, everything. Right? The time doesn't permit now. I think I'll be ending the session. If you have not subscribed us yet on YT, do subscribe us. Click on the bell icon and you can download the notes of this particular session in the PDF as well. No issues on that. Please like and share the video. Share it with your friends. Make sure that it reaches to maximum. And that is all from my side in today's session. Hopefully we shall catch up day after tomorrow, and again with a very exciting session. Thank